Hello and welcome to Language Monk and his random thoughts. I've heard quite a lot of people telling their students in institutes that grammar is very important and they teach grammar quite a lot of extensive grammar. In the process, the students end up learning grammar and forgetting to speak. On the other hand, there are some others who keep preaching that grammar is not at all important. Language is, after all, just 10% of communication. The rest is gestures and facial expressions and body language. So you don't have to worry about grammar. Both of these suggestions are not exactly right. I think grammar is important, but it's not that important. You don't learn your mother tongue by learning grammar. You learn it from your mother, from your father, from your brothers and sisters, and from the people around you. Same is the case with the Britishers who learned English. Not with grammar, they learned by talking with their parents, with the children, with the brothers and people around, and they speak English without any mistake in grammar. So, by hearing and listening and speaking, you learn grammar. But it's good to have a basic knowledge of grammar, which will help you in improving your spoken English much faster. So we'll have some grammar in our classes, and today I'll be telling you how the tenses work, basically in the active sentences, not in the passive ones. Active ones, there are 12 different forms of tenses. You know very well that there are three tenses. One is past, one is present, and one is future. And in each of these tenses, there are four different forms of tenses. That is the simple tense, the continuous tense, the perfect tense, and the and the perfect continuous tense. And these four formations are there in three different forms, that is three different tenses. So totally there are 12 different ways of using tenses. 4 of them in the past, 4 of them in the present, and 4 of them in the future. So I'll be just reading out one verb in different forms, these 12 different forms. I'll be telling you how the verbs are being used in these 12 different forms. And then I'll give you lots of verbs with their different forms for each type of usage. And I expect you to, having learned the first usage, having learned how to use these verbs in the first one, where I'll give you a verb, I expect you to use the rest of the verbs which I am giving you, use it in forming sentences, learning yourself. I hope you will do it. And anyway, let's go ahead and see how it is. So here we go. Here I've given you 12 different forms by which the verbs can be used. The verb I am using here is eat. And the different forms are he ate, he eats, he will eat, he was eating, he is eating, he will be eating, he had eaten, he has eaten, he will have eaten, he had been eating, he has been eating, he will have been eating. He will have been eating. So the first column is past tense, the middle column is present tense, and the right column is future tense. Row-wise, the first row is simple tense, the second row is continuous tense, the third row is perfect tense, and the fourth row is perfect continuous tense. So you can see how each sentence is formed, and when you add, you can complete the sentence by saying he ate bread yesterday, he eats bread daily, he will eat bread tomorrow, he was eating bread when I went to him yesterday, he is eating bread right now, he will be eating bread when you visit him tomorrow. He had eaten bread by the time I reached his house. He has eaten bread now already. He will have eaten bread by the time you reach his house tomorrow. He had been eating bread for a long time. He has been eating bread for some time. He will have been eating bread for quite some time when you reach him tomorrow. These are different forms of the verb, and I'm giving you a list of verbs which are normally used in our daily communications, and I hope you'll use them regularly so that you become very adept at using verbs properly in the proper tense. Now I'm giving you a list of words, as I mentioned earlier, the list of verbs which are normally used in our regular communications. We come across such words, we hear them, we use them, and I've noticed in many cases that one of the most common errors is using a present tense in the past tense. This has to be corrected. Make sure that you practice so that your past tense is a past tense word. These are the words which have the present tense, past tense, continuous and past participle, which are the forms which we use in those 12 different situations. Remember to learn all these words. I've got a full list of words, and you can use them, replace them in the sentences, replace it with each of these verbs. Try using it and exercise. I'm sure that you'll, in course of time, become experts in using the tense properly. Please go through these words. Remember that there are certain words like hang, which is used in two different occasions. One is hanging a picture on the wall, another is hanging a convict, a murderer. So in the past of hang, for hanging a picture is hung. But while you hang a person, it's the past tense is hanged. I hung a picture on the wall. The executioner hanged the convict in the cell. Similarly, draw. The action draw has two different meanings. One is drawing a picture, and then another is drawing water from the well, or you draw a person close to you by talking nicely. So you can try to use in two different situations. Anyway, do familiarize with these words, and I'm sure that in course of time you'll be using these words properly, and your language will become much more fluent. And you'll also see that in some cases the past participle and the past are same. But in most of the cases, the past participle, not in most cases, but in many cases, past participle is different. But in rare cases like come and run, the past participle and the present tense is the same, not the past tense. Just remember that it is come is present tense, but come is past participle. So, I hope you got some idea what tense is, and a few verbs which you have learned. I hope you will use those verbs in the tenses given as example, and I'm sure you're going to improve your grammar to a large extent. Anyway, that's the end for today. Till the next time, I hope you remember to wear your mask, wash your hands with soap frequently, keep a social distance, stay fit, stay healthy, and keep smiling. Bye for now.